The sweet, late summer air of Greenvale carried its usual Saturday symphony. Fiddles from the buskers by the fountain, the wet slap of fishmongers' knives, and the cheerful rumble of shoppers cradling tomatoes like newborns. But that morning the real magnet was the makeshift kitchen perched on a flatbed truck at the west end of the farmers' market. A glossy banner fluttered above the range. Chef Gideon Crane, from stream to skillet. Gideon's TV face, silver-streaked beard, mischievous blue eyes, was everywhere, grinning from sacks of sea salt, organic chicken stock pouches, even recyclable aprons sold in stacks near the stage. Greenvale had never hosted a food celebrity before, and the mayor himself had framed the day as a turning point. Fresh produce plus star power equaled tourism, prosperity, prestige. At 10 a.m. sharp, the mayor welcomed everyone, got a laugh by mispronouncing bouillabaisse, and yielded the mic to Gideon. The chef executed his practiced wink, then launched into patter as smooth as a sauté pan glaze. He planned to demonstrate 3 dishes built around local harvest: a stone fruit bruschetta, a charred corn chowder, and, as a climax, a cedar plank salmon finished with an ambrosial honey herb lacquer. On the edge of the crowd, herbalist Maya Hill folded her arms. She watched him zest lemon over peaches, with the same intent frown she reserved for inspecting wilted nettle leaves. At 38, Maya was no stranger to showmanship. Her tincture booth survived by turning herbal lore into compelling stories, but she distrusted celebrity flash. Still, if Gideon got people thinking about real food, she could applaud. When he unveiled a quart mason jar of translucent gold, phones shot skyward. "This," Gideon declared, "is single-source raw honey from right here in Greenvale. Tasted it yesterday. Floored me. Whoever the beekeeper is, stand up and take a bow." From row 3, lanky, sunburned Vincent Dover raised a sheepish hand. He operated Cloverfall Apiary 3 miles south of town. Maya knew him. He bought lemon balm from her to calm his hives. Vincent's surprised smile seemed genuine enough. "Sir," the chef proclaimed, "you're about to make my salmon legendary." He dabbed a basting brush, swept it over glistening fish, and signalled his stage assistant, a young woman in Crane Culinary Academy whites, to kill the burners. Applause rippled. Gideon carved a corner flaky with alder smoke, dipped it once more in the honey glaze, and popped it into his mouth. The bark of a dog, the clatter of clapping hands, and then a collective hush. Gideon's bright eyes clouded. His spatula clanged to the floor. One palm clutched his throat, while the other braced the cutting board. A thin wheeze slipped between his lips. Gasps erupted. Someone hollered for a medic. Gideon staggered, toppled forward, and the world seemed to pivot in slow motion until his chef whites lay crumpled beside the propane tanks. By the time paramedics arrived from the firehouse across the square, Gideon was semi-conscious, skin the waxy colour of dishwater. His pulse galloped. Anaphylaxis, everyone assumed. Celebrity chef felled by bee pollen in the very product he praised. The EMTs administered epinephrine, loaded him onto a gurney, and careened toward Greenvale General. The demo stage emptied in a hush of fear and camera shutters. The mayor's face looked carved in damp clay. Vendors whispered allergic shock, tragic irony. He'll be fine. Maya Hill, however, stared at the half-eaten salmon. A single bead of glaze shone on the fillet's edge. She poked it with a disposable spoon and tasted a grain the size of sand. Raw honey should be smooth at that temperature, she thought. What is that grit? Behind her, Vincent Dover tugged at his baseball cap. "Maya, you think he'll pull through?" I hope so, she murmured. Vincent, did you strain this batch? Course, twice. Why? Because something's off. She sniffed again. Beneath the orchard-sweet fragrance lingered a bite. Green, bitter, almost metallic. To the ordinary palate, it could hide under sugar. To an herbalist trained in teas, it screamed trouble. While most onlookers drifted away, Maya slipped around the stage curtain. Stainless steel bowls lay abandoned like beached tin boats. She located the honey jar beside a container of minced thyme. The lid was loose. She lifted it, inhaled. There it was again, that grassy tang. Not toxic on its own, maybe, but weird in honey. She dug out her phone, thumbed a text to Deputy Cara Reed, a high school classmate now patrolling Greenvale. Something wrong, wow honey at market. Chef collapsed. Could be contamination. Can you secure sample? No sooner had she pressed send than a voice growled behind her. Step away from the chef's property. It was Jonah Crisp, Gideon's touring manager. Square jaw, Bluetooth earpiece, suit jacket despite the heat. Maya lifted her hands. Just concerned about potential food safety. I'm an herbalist. You're not health department. Get permission next time. He snatched the jar, sealed it, and stuffed it into a cooler bag. Then he marched off, tapping frantically at his phone. Maya's gut tightened. If the jar left the premises, any chance of analysis vanished. She hurried back to her booth, brain whirring. Could natural pollen content spark such a violent reaction? Possibly if Gideon had severe allergies and no EpiPen. But that bitterness. She recalled botany lectures on mad honey, made from rhododendron or azalea nectar, laden with grayanotoxins causing low blood pressure, dizziness, even collapse. Yet those toxins produced characteristic tingling on the tongue, absent here. Another memory surfaced. Ground comfrey leaf smell similar. Raw comfrey contains pyrrolizidine alkaloids, liver-damaging, not instant collapses. No, she needed more information. What exactly happened in Gideon's trailer kitchen before the show? Who handled the honey? And why, with hundreds of other ingredients, had only that one triggered catastrophe? At noon, her booth partner, Auntie June, arrived to relieve her. Maya grabbed her satchel. Cover for me. I have to chase a hunch. June raised an eyebrow. Trouble again, hon? Probably, Maya called over her shoulder. She found Vincent loading empty frames into his pickup. I need to inspect your hives. My hives? He blinked. Is someone blaming me? Not yet. But if the press starts buzzing, you'll want proof the honey's clean. He hesitated. Oh, okay. Hop in. Cloverfall apiary sprawled across a meadow ringed by blackberry brambles. Bee traffic droned through late-blooming goldenrod. The air smelled wholesome. Vincent offered Maya a veil, but she waved it off and knelt by a stack of supers. She pried a frame free, sniffed a waxy cell, licked a droplet. Pure clover with a hint of linden, no suspicious tang. Your honey's clean, she declared, handing the frame back. Whatever sickened Gideon didn't come from the bees. Relief washed over Vincent, then dried into worry. But everyone saw him spoon my jar. Someone could have doctored it. Maya recalled Jonah Crisp's haste to secure the evidence. Have you had any conflicts with Gideon's team? Anyone ask for a separate sample? Vincent shook his head. Just his assistant yesterday. Young woman, friendly. Maya tapped her chin. Let's visit the hospital. They arrived at Greenvale General to find a camera crew parked outside. A reporter intoned, "No official word on Chef Crane's condition." Maya and Vincent slipped through the sliding doors, found Deputy Cara Reed guarding ICU 4. Kara's blonde ponytail betrayed her frustration. Maya, I got your text. Too late. The jar's gone. Jonah. Walked out with it before I could declare it evidence. Hospital ran tox screen on the chef. Results pending. Vincent cleared his throat. Am I in trouble? Right now? Kara shrugged. Only trouble is the fans clogging the hallway. From inside ICU 4 came beeping monitors, low voices. Maya glimpsed Gideon pale beneath tubes. Nurse chatter revealed he'd stabilized, but remained under observation for idiopathic hypertensive episode. Meaning, they still didn't know. Maya turned to Vincent. Go home, rest, I'll update you. He nodded, shuffled away like a man leaving court unsure of the verdict. Back at the market, the afternoon crowd thinned into vendors packing crates. Streaks of honey glaze still marred the stage platform. Maya scanned for Chef Gideon's assistant, maybe the last person to touch the jar before showtime. She spotted her near the fountain, arms folded around a clipboard, gaze lost in the spray. Maya approached gently. Excuse me, I'm Maya Hill. I know. The young woman managed a wan smile. I'm Cleo Camdar, chef's culinary intern. Long day, huh? Cleo exhaled. He was fine this morning. Joked about the mayor's tie, teased me for over-reducing the chowder. Then, she shook her head. You think the honey really did it? Maybe adulterated honey. Did Gideon keep the jar with him last night? No, Jonah stored all local vendor gifts in the trailer pantry. Cleo bit her lip, but Chef insisted on plating the glaze himself. Wouldn't let Jonah or me season it. Could anyone access the jar in the trailer? Well, there's a passcode lock, but Jonah shares combo with logistics staff. Her voice trembled. Look, it wasn't an accident, was it? Maya placed a calming hand on her arm. I don't know yet, but I'd like to see that pantry. Cleo glanced around, then nodded. Jonah's busy fielding media, if we hurry. They crossed the square to a white food truck branded Crane Express. Inside, stainless counters gleamed, but the narrow pantry closet smelled of stale cumin and detergent. Cleo pointed out a vacant shelf. Honey was there. Maya's flashlight beam swept the floorboards. Something glittered, a fleck of green powder lodged in a knot of wood. She scraped it onto black paper. Odorless, but the hue tugged at memory. Dried ground rue? No. Rue's greener. Pennyroyal. Bitter, medicinal. She'd need a microscope to be certain. Footsteps clanked on the truck's stairs. Jonah's gruff voice boomed. What the hell? Cleo jumped. Jonah, hi. We came to, sanitize the shelves. Jonah's gaze narrowed. Sanitation crews booked. Out. His hand closed around Maya's upper arm. Especially you. His fingers dug like vice jaws, but Maya kept her voice level. I found residue that could explain the chef's collapse. It needs testing. You found nothing. He loomed taller, breath laced with coffee. I'm protecting chef's brand from rumor. By hiding evidence? By preventing amateurs from contaminating a scene. He shoved a card toward her chest, sleek, embossed. Talk through legal channels. Maya tucked the powder packet into her satchel unnoticed. Fine, but contaminants have a way of surfacing. She and Cleo exited. Sunlight felt hostile. At her booth, Auntie June launched into scolding, but broke off at Maya's expression. You've gone fox-eyed, girl. Spill. Maya described the powder, Jonah's hostility. June pursed her lips. Sounds like sabotage. Could be marketing panic, Maya sighed. But motives aside, I need lab confirmation. University Herbarium has GCMS, but samples need official chain of custody. Kara's my best hope. They closed shop early and drove to the sheriff's substation. Kara met them in the evidence room. "Technically, your packet is illegally collected," she said, eyebrows arched. "But given potential felony poisoning, I'll label it public safety tip and send it to State Crime Lab." "Thank you," Maya breathed. "What about the honey jar?" Kara asked. We get that. We get answers," Maya said. "Any chance of a warrant?" "Need probable cause stronger than hunches. Unless someone admits wrongdoing, judge won't sign." "Then we make someone talk." A plan sprouted. Exploit ego, fear, and timing. Chef Gideon might regain consciousness tonight. If he recalled a peculiar taste, suspicion would fall on whoever controlled ingredients. Not the beekeeper, but his own gatekeeper, Jonah. Panic could coax mistakes. Step 1. Nudge the press. Maya contacted Luis Ortega, local podcaster who'd covered her foraging walks. On record, she said, "It appears Chef Crane's reaction may not be simple allergy. Independent herbal analysis raises questions about substance interference." She emphasized there was no evidence implicating local beekeepers. By 6 p.m., Luis had uploaded a 10-minute episode titled "Honeygate at Greenvale?" Social media lit. Comments split between conspiracy and concern. Crucially, none blamed Vincent. Step 2. Wait. At 9:13 p.m., Deputy Kara rang Maya. "Chef woke up, says Glazed tasted like cut grass and aspirin. Hospital labs show drop in blood pressure consistent with veratridine ingestion." "Veratrum alkaloids," Maya exclaimed. "From false hellebore root? That matches the powder color." "Yup. Small dose, mixed with honey mask's bitterness. Could trigger collapse in minutes." Hellebore. Maya pictured the ridge above town, where the poisonous plant grew. Harvested, dried, powdered, it looked like green tea matcha. Few knew its properties, except herbalists, foragers, and maybe someone browsing the internet for plant toxins causing quick hypertension. Kara continued. "I asked Chef who had access. First name out of his mouth, Jonah. They argued last night about Gideon reneging on a TV contract." Maya whistled. "Motive, sabotage disguised as accident. If Gideon died, Jonah could blame local honey, collect insurance, maybe pivot Chef's brand to a memorial cookbook. Sick but plausible. Judge signed warrant an hour ago. Want to watch?" Maya hesitated. "Justice doesn't need me there." "Maybe not, but Honey Guy will sleep easier with closure. Bring him." 10 that night, patrol cars idled near Greenvale Inn. Officers escorted Jonah Crisp, cuffed and glaring. The evidence team recovered the cooler bag. Inside, the honey jar sat half empty, its lid crusted with greenish granules. Toxicology would match them to hellebore. Watching from the sidewalk, Vincent exhaled like a deflating hive smoker. "Thank you, Maya." She smiled. "Let's tell your bees they're off the hook." A week later, Greenvale Farmers Market resumed normal hum, though foot traffic swelled with true crime tourists. Gideon, discharged with doctor's orders to avoid mystery condiments, returned briefly to issue a public apology to Vincent and donate $20,000 to the community garden. Maya staffed her booth again, chamomile jars gleaming. Customers peppered her with questions. "How do you know?" "What's hellebore taste like?" "Isn't honey supposed to be safe?" She answered patiently, but her eyes kept wandering across the square to an unoccupied corner where for one strange moment celebrity dazzled, greed schemed, and an herb's whisper nearly claimed a life. In that empty space she felt the quiet authority of the plants she loved, some healing, some harmful, all carrying stories. The trick, always, was listening. And she would keep listening, ears tuned not just to blossoms and leaves, but to the rustle of motives beneath the surface sweetness we too easily trust.